Okay, based upon popular demand, no, don't interrupt. Based upon popular demand, my fans have asked me to show off the corresponding project files for my songs Rocket and also Alchemy. Here's Rocket. Don't look at the song file with intent to bludgeon my musical intellect and integrity. Here's Rocket. So then, okay, where's Alchemy? Okay, that's right here. So here's Alchemy. And as you can see, all the moving parts on Alchemy, like the church bells here, press play, here's headphones. Sorry, I have bad sound quality because I don't have a stereo right now. Explained on an earlier video that my stereos keep breaking because, well, for whatever reason when they're not working. But as you can see, the church bells and they're dinging corresponding to where they're positioned in the sound map. So if you look at the scoring, there's over I think over 50 parts for this song, all just sound effects I found on the internet. I have the licensing for all of them, so don't even get it twisted. Here's an angry crowd, and you can see that got into. There's a stereo filter I use to cut and do this part of the song, which is the instrumental. You can see the whole instrumentals here. Let's find the verses. No, the sound effects, sound effects, sound effects, sound effects, sound effects. The verses might be towards the bottom. No. Or towards the top. No. Traverse the entire score. For goodness sakes, if I whip it dirty, I won't use the brake color. May shift, making pasteurization if I whip it. No. Infinity loop, come on. But down, I have this song memorized. Can't figure out the verses, huh? But down, you can get a sense of where everything is on the song. Like here's the Gregorian chant again, the second time. And I think here's where I spliced the radio cue where it comes back in. So the sound effects had to be edited as perfectly as, like, say, a Picasso painting, just for the song to work. Because any strain on edit, and it's just gonna sound as awkward as, you shitting me? I apologize for cursing. It looks like the lyrics are on this, like they're spliced into the song already, like they've been mixed into the instrumental. Just for sake of brevity, there's a gunshot sound effects. You'll get to Rocket soon. I know this song's kind of morbid, but it did take quite some effort. And then you can see here's a police helicopter. There's even labeled that way, the church bells. The Kyrie from Catholic Mass for Christmas Day. And then car chase scenes. The machine gun sound effect is taken from the classic film Scarface, Hardy Horror. But I mean, I got my face worked on, so I used to have a little scar on my face, but it's dissipating quickly, so ain't no worries. Another artist told me, "Scars, you're beautiful." Share the sentiment. Moving along. Here's Rocket, which is what a lot of my fans wanted to hear. Or press play. This barn is a woman's song voice. I won't tell you how I recorded that, but I'll just say this. I didn't have any woman handy, and my voice does have a ton of range, but I'll just leave it at that. Well, yes, it's a woman's voice, and the audio recording and the instrumental and the verses have been mixed into the original file, so there's no way to separate them beyond this point because I made the song in numerous stages, and sadly I don't have the original other two verses before. Like, this part, here's the intro. Let's pause it actually. Here's what the intro's ad-libbing sounds like. A crazy walk up. I actually got to do sound like a woman singing just in the echoing, but it seems like they just added that in. It seems like they just added that into the song. After the fact, because others were sort of shadowing and they kind of brought to light that they wanted to have a more group sort of a sound instead of just all solo entities. Like this part, the Neil Armstrong part in the song where Neil singing the counter melody and also the oscillating, echoing. Let's zoom in on this. Because this is a part that another artist taught me. It's actually Beyonce taught me how to do this very segment. The flare up here that sounds like a quasar or a supernova. Here's where I invented this part, the Neil Armstrong part singing the counter melody. And all this is made through editing after singing it. So the filter I used was in Effect. You go to Distortion. I have a preset distortion, so that's just here's all these factory distortions. Is this one, and then soft overdrive was used extensively on this particular song, and you can see, like, say if I was going to isolate all of it, it's just select all tracks, sorry, under the weather, mute all tracks, and then from there we'll get back to that part, but I want to talk about the echoing because it's one of my favorite parts. Let me switch back to my left hand. So we'll zoom out here. There's you echoing here and here. It's one of my favorite things to do with a song if I ever reopen the score again. Audacity project. For those who are more technically oriented on the composition side. So you can see it starts less often after the first three. only half as often for the rest of the song. How I made that, I actually made a grid of, say, length like this much, and then I would just run an adjustable fade over and over again. Through a grid, copy pasted this all the way throughout the song, and then run an oscillating adjustable fade. By using these two toggles as a grip, so I made an adjustable fade to cover the echoing and the resin on the repeated motif. The woman saying, yeah, hey, hey, but she does it a lot better than me. From there, we'll select the whole song and unmute all of it. Have to pause it first. And we'll get back onto this. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm sorry if I'm a little scatterbrained. And we'll zoom right on in this. This took about maybe 90 or 100 edits. But it's cool because you just sing the counter melody, and then you take the last bit of the counter melody and you hit the echo button, and then you run all these adjustable fades to make it oscillate in one ear or the other, one ear or the other, one ear. And it ends in the left ear. Like, it's one of my favorite edits. I actually did something similar on my song First. Both some of my best songs from Love Love Natty, along with Love Love Taro. The whole album was stellar, but I mean, some people thought a few of the songs were like some filler. They thought I was BSing, but I mean, we'll bring those albums back eventually for reference. So, but anyway, we'll play this part, and then we'll isolate it. And now let's select all of it. And mute all tracks, unmute these. And then you'll sort of get dope, ain't it? One of my neighbor's kids is heckling me. Okay, now let's select all and unmute all of them. Let's skip to later in the song. At this part, there's a dope sort of flourish, borrowing from the first verse's echoing motif. So you can see the mid-portion interlude of the second verse. And it gives a really cool effect. It's like going and ascending above the clouds or just leaving the atmosphere. I really like that riff on this song. It's timed at the very exact limit, like I was saying on the prior video. You really do have to line things up perfectly. Like this. Zoom out. Zoom in. That's lined up with the very downbeat of the final 4 bars of the second verse. And you have to design it that way or else it won't sound professional. Okay. And then some of my favorite things I did on the song, like these parts. Now let's select all track, mute, all tracks, and I'll mute this. From here, we'll listen to this. This was the last thing I added to the song, just to finish it off. And you can see the filter, the soft overdrive plus all the echoing, and then here's a second spot. And then you can listen to those. Actually, let's listen to the last one first. That's my own singing, actually. So you can see that cascading into that. It's really dope. Now let's select all the tracks, mute, and we'll touch this one and the last one. You've been remastered countless times, but I mean, I've gotten the sound that I want, so it sounds very perfect. Let's notice this again. You can see how it all lines up. There's even a toggle here. There's actually a third one. Let me find. I'll be here. Over here. That's this one. And we'll press play right here. No, let's unmute all of it. And listen to the last part. Sorry, my nose is a little stuffy. Apologize for being overtly sentimental, but I mean, me and my friends always talk about this song. It's very emotional. I wrote it to my girlfriend at a point in our relationship where we were really falling for each other. So some of my best one-liners. Everyone likes to tell jokes, but I mean, this was definitely one of my favorite songs. Let's go back to Alchemy. As we already said, anything we have to say about this. I mean, this song was a joy to make. It took 3 days to make, but I mean, as fast as we got it done, it sounded absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Some of my finest work. And like the transitioning, probably my favorite aspect of it was getting to really because at the beginning I wasn't too good at things like this. But like this stuff, where it clicks in and the instrumental starts right here, you can see it overlap just the tiniest bit. Like if I zoom in, the instrumental starts right here, and then this part overlaps, so you can see just right at the limit of a stereo cutting into the beginning of the song. There's just stuff I work on. There's stuff I work on as an artist. We'll say it again. Like this and this and this. Like the sound effects at the beginning as a transition. A stereo cutting in to the beginning of the actual music portion. And that's just stuff I live for as a musician. Just being able to conjure it up, create it, shape it, master it, beyond master it, and then get it down to a precise art. I use that extensively in my songs. One of my little quirks as a musician. But I think it works perfectly. I always love the way this verse starts. I designed it that way. We do a hezzy on the first bar, and come in late in the second bar with a sort of cocky laugh. Like this is like a defiant Rambo type who's making the worst decision of his life. It's a little abrasive, but I mean, the soundscape isn't, despite the tragedy of the calamity of committing crime. I'll get a car someday, but this isn't the way to do it. So we'll figure out another strategy. All right, y'all. Thanks for having me, and have a nice day. This is Tyler from Ohio. Over and out.